back. So I promised that I would get on here and show folks what we're looking at as far as our weather planning for the Corpus Christi to Kemah trip. And here's me making good on my promise. So we have a app slash account set up with predictwind.com, which is a very reliable weather software system. Provides 4 models of weather, potential weather that we could get into, and it's how we make our decisions on whether we're going to go, where we're going to go, how we're going to go, and everything else. So just run through real quick what we're looking at for Corpus Christi, or for that trip from Corpus to Kemah. So on here I would go to weather routing, departure planning, weather routing or departure planning. We'll head into departure planning real quick because we need to figure out when we're gonna go. So we know that our window for leaving is going to be on the 10th at 10 o'clock in the morning. That has us leaving the marina at 6 o'clock in the morning for a 4-hour trip over to the pass. Okay, so we would be going from, if you follow my mouse, we would be going from Corpus Christi Marina, which is right here, all the way over to this Port Aransas here. That's the pass leading out into the Gulf of Mexico. It's about a 4-hour trip, about 20 some odd nautical miles. It's because there's a bunch of potential tacks in there, and we got to follow a shipping channel. We won't plan that into our route as far as weather predictions go, because of the simple fact too that it doesn't matter. We're probably not going to be under sail. We'll be under power the entire time. So our route, if you can see, we'll go from Corpus Christi. We'll go out probably it would be about 16-17 nautical miles, and then we'll start turning northeast up to Galveston and go in. The reason why we go out this distance is because out here right along that line there's a shipping channel. Actually, it's called a safety fairway, and there are no oil rigs, there are no buoys, there are no nets, there are no fishing tools, nothing that is supposed to be in that area. It should be open sailing to boats. So the only thing that we would have to worry about would be other boats, other traffic, which in most cases we can see that on our radar and our AIS, in nearly all cases actually. So we know by 10 o'clock in the morning on the 10th of March, which is next Saturday, we should be out here to this bay and be able to move out into the Gulf of Mexico. So we will create that as our beginning window, and I will go ahead and hit planning departure. Okay, so that's the trip. That's a potential route so we could possibly take, and it'll actually get better when we start doing weather routing, but these are just going to give me some basic information that I need to know. So departure 1, leaving at 10 o'clock, which is our original. That's when our window opens up. It shows that if I go off of 2 of the weather models, which PWG and PWE, the red or the blue and the red, those are actually the predict wind models, and 2 of the most accurate. They use other models, a European model and a Canadian model, to gather that data. But if I go off of PWG, if we leave it departure 1, which we would see a max wind speed of 15.6, and a minimum wind speed of 2.2 knots. So nothing to be really concerned with there as far as the wind goes. The only true thing that we would be looking at would be the wave size. So these are 2 to 3 meters. So you're talking anywhere from 6.5 to 9 feet for about almost 30% of the time. Again, these are all predictions, and don't forget we're 6 days out, so these things change. Fact is, it was looking a whole lot different yesterday. And it's already in there, March 10th at 10 a.m. in the morning. I hit calculate, so it's going to route our trip. Leaving on Saturday at 10 a.m. That's where that would put us at. And then again, following the blue line, noon on Saturday. That's us right there. Keep following us, about 1500 on Saturday, about 1800 on Saturday. So it's going to take us some time to get out to that safety fairway. About 2100, we'll make that turn. About 1800, we'll make that turn to the northeast. We go into some dying winds. About midnight, we'll be moving into some even lighter winds, and then about 3 a.m. even lighter winds, and about 6 a.m. when the sun starts to come up, we'll be probably in the 15-20 knot range. 9 a.m. on Sunday, and about noon on Sunday, and we'll be just coming into Galveston. A couple hours later, about 1500, we'll make the turn on Saturday, which will put us into Galveston probably about 1600, 1700, right before the sun goes down, so we'll be able to make a pass. And as you can see, the wind actually starts to die down. So let's look at about a 6 o'clock departure, 6 a.m. departure on Sunday, so the 11th, 6 a.m. Calculate, and it did not like something. What's 0600? Alright, so 0600 departure on a Saturday looks a lot better, and so or on a Sunday, sorry, yes, on a Sunday. So 0600 on Sunday looks a lot better. We could probably spend some of Saturday getting over here, maybe spend some time in Port Aransas, checking the town out, maybe the bars or something like that on a Saturday night. We'll come on out. It looks like the blue line, let's make sure that the blue line is the closest one, and it is. The blue line's closest to the other two. So we'll follow the blue line. And so if we follow the blue line, let's see, we move into noon on Sunday. We're out here, we're making some really good progress to attack there. And that's about 2000 right there, 2100 Sunday. There's midnight, so I'm going to pause here. Let's see, so midnight, we'll go back to midnight. So midnight, we're looking at very light winds, 10 knots, probably a perfect sell at night, no issue. So right now, as it stands, it looks like we have a departure of 6 a.m. And so let's go through and look at some different things. Let's look at the rain. See if we have any rain forecasted. Run through real quick. Absolutely no rain forecasted. We'll look at cloud coverage. So it looks like we have some blue sky out there on our route. We'll see what it does. So it looks like we'll come out of the clouds probably on Monday at around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And then it'll just be, it'll be pretty much blue sky after that. All right, so Jan asked a little bit about the air temperature, so let's look and see what the air temp is going to do. So right now when we leave, we'll be looking at probably about a 65, maybe a little bit more degrees, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll move out into the 70 range, probably about out into the 75 degrees Fahrenheit range, and and stay in there for a little bit, and then it looks like it's moving into the 60s. So as we get closer to Galveston, it may cool off a little bit, and as we get closer to the land, and then it heats up again. So again, I'd say 65 between night and day, 65 to 75 degrees is what we could probably expect. And the wave action, the one that's really got my attention, make sure we're watching pretty close. So let me reset and see where we're at. Alright, so when we start, our wave height's going to be about 1.4 meters, so about 4 feet, nothing big. That's actually really good. As we move through, let's see where we're at here. So about 1.8, so about what, 4 or 5, about 5, 5.5 feet, not bad. Then they just die from there. So looks like max weighs 5.5 feet. No big concerns with that one. I think we should be pretty good. So at any rate, a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of things to consider. There's multiple models. You just have to find the best one. This is really hard to tell at this point. I can tell you everything that has been consistent is the wind and the wave height. So, all right, that's all I got. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.